Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Robbie the Painter. I just made myself laugh a second ago, so I'm laughing. Thank you for coming back and spending your time with me. Welcome to the show, the episode. I'm Robbie, and we've got a black canvas today. I thought we'd do a night sky, and so I put a thin coat of black gesso, allowed that to dry. It takes about 15 or 20 minutes, and then on top of that, I put a thin coat of linseed oil so that the paint that we apply moves around, makes it easier to blend. I'm also using some of the same colors that we used on a painting I did not too long ago called Crazy Sky 2. And so we're going to use some of the same colors here. I'll run those over here at the side. Let's get into the painting. We're going to come up here to some Prussian blue, and I'm using a big fan brush, one of the bigger fan brushes that I have, and we're going to come just underneath these corners and put a little Prussian blue in both sides, kind of in an arch. Without washing the brush, let's come into some phthalo blue, and we're going to put that in the center here. Just make a big circle. And I know it's hard to see because the blues are dark and we're going on a dark canvas, but the magic will happen in a second when we add the titanium white. So just make a circle with the phthalo blue in the middle, and let's set that brush down. Let's grab a clean fan brush, and I want to come into some of this orange color, and this was alizarin crimson and alizarin crimson, cadmium yellow, and I believe a little bit of white to get this orange. I have to think about what I used to mix this up, but it's an orangey color. And we're going to come down here on the bottom and just add some of this orange color here. We're not being precise, we're just adding some color. Maybe dip into a little cadmium yellow. I'll put a little cadmium yellow in here and there. Just adding some color. We're going to do some stuff to it here in a second. Now we're going to grab our clean dry 2-inch brush, and we're going to come into some titanium white. Start down here in this orangey yellow area. We're just going to swirl in some white. We're going to lighten up this orange and yellow mixture. And work our way up a little bit. Not getting up into the blue. Yellow and blue make green, and we don't want, you could have a green sky. There's no rules that says you could, what color your sky has to be, but we're gonna stay out of the blue for right now for our sky. I've got another clean 2-inch brush. We're gonna come into some more titanium white, and let's come up here into where we put the Prussian blue in the 2 corners. Let's grab a clean fan brush, go into a little bit of white. I'm going to put a few little squiggly things up here in the night sky. A little bit of detail stuff, something going on. We're going to take our 2-inch brush that we were using up here for the blue. Just going to lightly blend that, and then back and forth. I'll stand back. Not too bad. Very interesting. Nighttime clouds, weird shapes. Okay. Lightly over that. And lightly over this side. Getting a little more titanium white. And I'm putting some swirly things down here. Right at the transition line of the blue and our orange and yellow. All right, a little higher horizon line than what I originally wanted, but I think we're going to make that work. So we're going to grab our toothbrush, dip into a little liquid white. Careful how much you get on there. We're going to come up here. We're going to flick some stars on our night sky. I'll try to zoom in so you guys can see what we're doing here. Just pulling back and flicking stars. And down here at the bottom, we're going to cover some of this up here in a second. There's a lot of stars in the sky tonight. A lot of stars. You put as many or as few. You cover the whole thing up with stars. You have to stop eventually. Just remember that. Dip into a little violet. Maybe lighten it up with this titanium white over here, kind of a lavender color. I think we're going to put in a little hill. I'm going to grab that big fan brush that I used in the beginning to put some of the blue up there. We're going to do another mountain here, and I've got midnight black up here, so I'm going to dip into some midnight black. Come into a little bit of that black. It's a small fan brush. Just going to lift up at the top of this hill here. We can even take on this purple color that we put up over here. I'm going back over it now. Define this background hill just a little more. I don't want it too dark because it's in the distance, but we can add a little bit of purple so we see that there's a hill back here in the distance. Distant hill, distant mountain. Just going to smooth out some of these lines where I lifted the fan brush just underneath some of them. There we go. Lift up a little more and then come across. All right, let's take that same dirty fan brush, the big one, go back to the big one, and I'm going to load up A lot of midnight black. Let's put some trees in this. And we're gonna put one right there. Use the corner of our brush. Go back. Draw his trunk down. There we go. I like that a little bit better. Sometimes you want to draw in the entire trunk. Sometimes you can just make a little mark at the top and go back and forth. I want some of the trunk showing on this that way our night sky shows through. That's why I'm doing that. And just come down like that. Darken in that trunk just a little bit better, right? Put it in there. All right. Let's put another one in. Maybe a little bit bigger. We could do a different kind of tree, still an evergreen, but maybe it looks like this. And we're just kind of going back and forth. Grab some more paint. Just a little different shape. Grab a palette knife. A little bit of light color. The indication of a trunk showing through. Okay. Let's come over this other side. Down here. We're gonna actually put the trunk in on that one. Maybe this one does too. Comes down. All right. And come up here, start at the top, come back and forth. Getting wider as we go down. Sometimes you can press up as you're pushing against the canvas. Kind of press up. Takes your branches, and not all of them are down or up. Let's grab a smaller fan brush. This one has some dark on it. Come into that black. I'll make a little smaller pine tree. And I think this one's going to come down here like that. I can get the paint stick here. Back and forth. And just add another little pine tree in next to this one. and back and forth all the way down. There we have another tree. Let's come up here. I'm looking at it as we go. Let's just put in a little distant line of trees back here in the background. Grabbing some of that midnight black. And just tapping up and down, not all the same height, not all the same width, just very tap up and down and down and up. We'll just come across here and take our fan brush underneath those. Just kind of diffuse. Would have been better to put that line of trees before we did these. Normally I would do that. I didn't know that I was going to want to put a line of trees back here, but as I stood back, I thought, boy, that'll look good. And sometimes you change up your painting. You have the freedom to do that at any time. So I think that's a pretty cool night sky. I don't know that we need to add a bunch of trees across here. I kind of like having that open and you can see the sky. We've got a different looking tree right here. And, you know, if we don't like that trunk showing as white, or if it's too light, just tap your fan brush on it. It'll just take the tone down just a little bit so you see the indication of the tree trunk without it being so dark. And we'll just put a branch across there. I like it. I don't know that we need to add anything more to it. I like it dark down here and I like the sky up here. So I think we're going to grab a liner brush and call this one done and sign it. And there's my liner brush. Let's mix up a lavender. Come over here into the white, a little bit of purple. Grab a little liquid white. There we go. All right, come down here in the corner. And we have a signed painting. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you enjoyed this fairly quick painting. Not a whole lot to it. Once you get your sky, you know, your colors the way you want them, and you can do yours however you want. You want yours darker, don't put as much white in there. You know, add some Prussian blue and less white and keep it all dark. But I like the way this turned out, and I hope you did too. So thank you for stopping by. I'll see you on the next episode. Bye-bye.